really great season.
All seem to get away, cleaning off this time. Very good start from Taka Nakagami on the inside as they power down towards turn one here in Valencia. Big punch coming together for a fast first. Faki pushes Johan Zarco wide. That was hard from Smith as well, but it's Tyrrell leading into Tyrrell corner on the first lap, named after him this morning. Espargaro second, Lutti third, Corsi in fourth, and it's Simeon in fifth place. He almost makes it look easy, and it's not. He's past Bradley Smith now.
Tremendous stuff from Nico Tyrrell. As we said, as we ride with him, this is his best ever Moto2 qualifying. It's taken them time to adjust to Moto2. There's been glimpses that the former,
thriving on this one at the front with Espargaro second, Lutti in third, there's Corsi, and there is Marc Marquez. Look who's coming through with him, Gino Ria, of course, finishing on the podium in the Malaysian Grand Prix. I wouldn't say in similar conditions, but it was, of course,
again, make up some marks, make up some positions, see where he is when they come across the line.
He was 11th across the line. And I'm sure he hasn't been able to pick anyone up, actually. He's in behind Mika Kallio now, so it will get harder. He's 3 points before dropping back. And so Simon's someone
lasting very long, to be honest.
Gino Ria is full of confidence, isn't he? He's following Marquez through now on Kallio. They've got Iannone as their next man in front, and they're picking their way through the order.
You'd say that's pretty sensible strategy, wouldn't you? Just about see him through the spray.
Of course, it was Alex De Angelis who came out on top in Malaysia, but he's not riding here this weekend. He took all the skin off his finger in a crash in Australia. He's been replaced by Mattia Pizzini here this
Corsi, still battling it out for third place.
Well, Mattia Pizzini might be good in the wet, but he's not going to be so good here. He's already been off the track and has dropped right back.
Oh, dear. Just having a look down the order. Bradley Smith, 16th. Scott.
This race has got a long time to settle. Perhaps Nico Tyrrell can get a... Certainly in the 125cc class, he was very capable of winning races like this.
He's won in the wet, and he's had problems in the wet before. He was up around 180 yesterday.
Calm down, Nico. We don't want to see that going up there again.
Well, that's like sprinting. That'd be full-out sprinting. I can't imagine that it'd be like that. He'd be
here. Tyrrell really has built up a bit of an advantage. Over 2 seconds now between him and Julian Simon.
Yeah, Simon now, who's got past Pol Espargaro finally.
I'm sure Marquez, we joked at the start how much caution he would show, but he's not going to do anything silly with the big test on Tuesday. But how he'd love to win a race in front of his... And it looks like Pol Espargaro is going to come with a little bit of pressure from Simone Corsi, just beginning to drop back a little bit. Fastest lap of the race does go to Julian Simon. So former winner here, 2009 in the way.
Corsi also through on Pol Espargaro now up into third place. Marc Marquez still in behind Jordi Torres. And still Gino Ria sits behind it.
Marquez did put him through, but it wasn't happening.
Yeah, they were losing time.
I'll do it myself, and he's going to try and get up to the side of Jordi Torres on the brakes to turn one. I don't think he's got the space to do it then.
No, he was thinking...
That advantage, he is definitely pulling back the advantage, and it was a 2-second advantage at one time.
6/10 on that last lap, down to 1.4 seconds now.
That'd be pretty proper. Well, they want Nico Tyrrell to win, but Julian Simon on the podium would be pretty proper. Good ride by Simone.
In that team by Pizzini, also Ricky Carduce will be in there, and of course Simone Corsi, as we said.
Well, there is Corsi. He's pole setter and arrogant. Tom Luthi made a great start, but he's dropping down a little.
I think Iannone would take top spot by
two
Grand Prix wins.
Yeah, against Luthi's away.
Luthi would need 4th or higher.
Well, Julian Simon really has got Nico Tyrrell in his sight. 2 125cc world champions, both
very low 149s.
It's almost like the roles are reversed. Sorry, Ian. That he's going to follow. He's going to follow Gino Ria now.
Actually, fastest rider on the track is Julian Simon.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, he looks very, very comfortable at that pace as well.
Probably not so bad for Moto2, but MotoGP people will be looking at that with great interest and keeping a big eye on the weather.
Yeah, could be some gambles to come in MotoGP. We know it's back out to 1.2.
There is Marquez, 9th place, Gino Ria, 8th, Jordi Torres, as Gab was saying, they've got past in 10th spot. It's Corsi, Paul Espargaro, Xavier Simeon.
And Rio through on a does have to succumb. Did someone run off there? I saw a puff of smoke going through the final corner as they come down through. Corsi, no, they all look still to be there.
Yeah, there is Corsi, Paul Espargaro.
Through on a Goethe, but the Goethe's bike was in such a position that he couldn't put it in. Could see the spots of rain on the crane cam as they go through Doohan corner. Now down into Nico Tirol corner. It'd be fitting, wouldn't it, after naming the corner after him, if he could go on and win this. With a low 148, and only Simon really is anywhere close to that. Xavier Simeon is the fastest of the chasing group.
That old heartbeat's a bit better.
That's a bit more like it.
The air ambulance hasn't arrived to whisk him off.
Station for a Goethe, but I think they want to get through on Luthi because he's just dropping back from Simeon now.
Agata must be having flashbacks now to Japan. He was one of the riders that Marquez bounced off as he came through the field on the opening lap.
Gino Ria is excellent in the wet. Here they come, three abreast. Dominic Goethe on the brakes, goes through. Can he make it stick? It's Marc Marquez at the back of the group. That was some move by Dominic Goethe as Gino Ria, in fact, runs it a bit wide.
The fact, though, that Goethe forced it.
Marquez up the inside of Tom Luthi. You remember that final lap in Qatar? It's like a long time ago, that opening Grand Prix of the year. Marquez went on to win. Luthi was absolutely furious. First bend of the last lap at the front.
For the Belgian rider in Grand Prix racing, he's got through, and will he be able to join this party there? A long way behind, 6 seconds down, but a really big group forming now.
Dominic Goethe is loving this. He really is enjoying.
Joins in behind Scott Redding, but that's down in 18th place.
Desperate end to the season.
And a change at the front as well.
Yeah. Julian Simon's gone through on Nico Tirol now across the line. Fast in the wet. Now, it was Corsi coming round on the outside. I don't know whether it just upset him or whatever. It looked like he kept the bike going. Target on the side of his bike.
Julian Simon, of course, he finished runner-up in that first Moto2 World Championship a couple of years ago, but never won a race. He's chasing his first ever Moto2 victory.
He's come right through the field, Zarco.
It's a great ride by Xavier Simeon, isn't it? He led the way, didn't he, on Friday in very difficult conditions. And also Dominic Goethe has been on the podium before. Zarco never ruled him out. Or is he 9th in the World Championship?
Oh, someone's just run it very, very wide indeed. Was it Corsi in that final corner? It looks as though it was Simone Corsi running it right into the... Look at it, there's a bit of asphalt on the outside there, and he's brought it back.
From Nico Tirol.
Final corner. Tirol's trying to go wide to cut very late across it to get the drive, but Simon sees that as just an open opportunity.
Just you were talking earlier about dry spots appearing on the circuit. Well, they won't have to worry about that because the rain has started once again, and it's the heaviest we've had so far this afternoon. And this is going to be a problem, you know, even if they don't get a dry line, if they start to lose standing water on the track, then the abrasive new track surface is going to cause some tyre problems as we get to the end of the race. What they really need is they need a bit more heavier rain, so the takeaway
is taking a little bit of advice at the moment, and Goethe moves into 3rd place. He was 3rd here last year. I don't think his hair's so long this year, is it? Because he had to have his hair cut.
That was his bet that he made.
Yeah.
If he got the podium, a little
having a tantrum,
a strop in the gravel.
Oh, front end down.
We saw Ria had to sit up there, yeah. Zarco as well, and that just look at that frustration.
Zarco walks away. His season over. He's had a good season, but getting disappointed. This is the man at the front, Julian Simon.
It looks like the track is just changing in condition quite considerably now, and their lap time's going to have to respond to this. They're going to have to be, and that could be all to do with the changing conditions here. It looks extremely dark out there now on the track in Valencia. 149.2 from Simon, 149.6 from Tirol. The battle for 3rd is really hotting up as Simeon.
Team manager of Vinci Bluesons, Julian Simon's team manager, Ricard Gervais. Ricard, Julian seems very, very comfortable, able to up the pace when needed, but we started to see more rain coming now.
Well, looks like it's rhythm. It's quite comfortable. But I repeat, I don't want to talk a lot because if you talk a lot, then could happen something. But no, we believe that
Straight back at him. He is a top-class rider in the wet, isn't he, Gino Ria?
Yeah, he is there. Marquez clearly had the pace coming through the chicane, and they don't want to battle too much. They just want to make sure they're still with Goethe. But Marquez obviously feels if he gets to sit up, just saw Ria just adjust, didn't he, in the corner. And as he picked the bike up, Marquez was actually on the outside, probably not where he'd expect him to be. And Marquez was forced to pick the bike up. Well, that's one way of trying to take someone out of the equation.
On the AstroTurf, didn't he? Did well to hang on to that, Marquez.
Just going in, there's a bit of asphalt down there, and the team just saying, don't worry about it.
Calm down, Ethel.
Well, I just wonder if he'll have a Kimi Raikkonen moment and just say, leave me alone, I know what I'm doing, let's get on with it.
Think about that. Gino really fancies his chances of a second podium finish. He was so unlucky in Malaysia. I mean, he didn't cross the line in first place. Of course, it had to go back, but everybody had passed the finishing line.
Well, that's almost allowed Ria now to have a good go at a Goethe. You can see the rain falling. Is it getting heavier? Is it still coming down here now?
It's still coming down, but it's pretty consistent. It's not heavy. Just a little bit heavier than the showers we had earlier.
Patient. Of course, while he is being patient, Marc Marquez closes the gap on the ball.
Well, no, but Dominica Goethe not taking anything away from him because he's riding really well in third place. His pace is good. It's similar to that of Tyrrell and Simon ahead of him, and you can't knock him.
Not on a suitor in this race.
That's a really good spot. Very good spot, that.
Well, look at Tom Luthi and the situation between him, Andre Iannone. Iannone would hang on to that third place in the championship if those positions remain the same. Luthi in sixth place off Marc Marquez.
Here he comes again. Look, there he is.
Yeah.
In that corner, that's where he had the incident with Simone Corsi earlier on this weekend that meant he started from the back of the grid, but now he's into fourth place.
I've got to say, he probably feels if he can get past...
Moment for Julian Simon. He runs it wide. That's coming down into turn 8. That's going to close the gap. It's down to 1.5 across the line. He did really well to keep it on two wheels.
Yeah, this race is fast.
Thank you very much. I'll take advantage. I'm going to go through at turn 2. Goethe's thinking, well, I don't deserve this.
He just can't keep away from controversy, can he, Marc Marquez?
I don't think that one.
No,
to be honest, it was almost he was just too quick. Let's have a look. Look, you can just see. It's a go. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. Actually, he just does get a little bit closer. But Goethe obviously doesn't brake as quickly as brakes quicker than he does, and he's trying to take the line that.
He's getting a bit annoyed with him.
Well, Takaki Nakagami hasn't managed to take advantage of his front row start here at Valencia. The Japanese rider just pulled into pit lane, retired from this race.
Oh dear. It's a shame because no.
Oh. There is Tyrrell. Can he do anything about Julian Simon at the front? Well, he'd be encouraged, although he didn't see it. That was quite a moment for Julian Simon.
I just wonder here, Mark, by the looks of things, that...
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yes, it is.
It is. Yeah, with that orangey helmet with a big number 8 on the top. Gino Ria. Oh, what a shame. What a sad end to a Moto2 season for Gino Ria.
He's trying to hang on with Marc Marquez.
There he goes. I think that's probably settled that a little bit now. I know Dominica Goethe pointed the finger at Marc Marquez.
Actually, it was the final corner, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah. Julian Simon still leads the way, still 12 laps to go. We're nowhere like anywhere.
Well, you know, he's racing, Gav, you know what I mean? He's like, it's happened.
Yeah, well, I know.
Down, Mark, and where you go. But actually, I'm not sure Marc Marquez's indication on the bike there was an apology. And I'm not sure he was 100% to blame for that either. It looked like both had problems going in on the...
Fair enough.
I mean, what is interesting with Marc Marquez, there is like, you know, after a situation with Simone Corsi, yes, Marc Marquez thinks as well. And I'm just wondering, when's that learning going to take place?
That's amazing how he's... Look how he's threading it through some of the gaps he's gone through there. Absolutely superb. And you see he was helped by a couple of riders ahead of him, Bradley Smith.
Randy Krummenacker. Amazing first lap from Marc Marquez. Once again, a bit of controversy. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is on board. Let's watch this. Just enjoy it, I think. Here we go. Back of the grid. Marc Marquez, Valencia. This is the way to start.
Well, his lap times as well, on track at the moment, are second quicker than Tyrrell's ahead of him, with 9.5, 10 laps to go, in fact.
Is there any chance?
Yeah.
And I think he still thinks he could win this, but Julian Simon's doing a great job out front.
Well, the Marquez's team showing him the gap back to the riders behind him the last few laps. Now they're
very unlucky, but it is a great fourth place at the moment for the Swiss rider. I love the way he pointed the finger at Marquez after that incident. Did well to hang on to the bike, actually, at Goethe, because we've seen many a big crash at turn 1 at Valencia. It's a in 15th place, as is Gino Rea. Gino Rea in 16th place, so we obviously got back on the bike okay.
Yeah.
This is a Jordi Torres, currently running in 6th.
Came in the course to replace Tony Elias in that team.
With Callier running in 7th place, but a disappointment for Scott Redding, you've got to say, out of the points at the moment, down in 18th. Obviously some problems in the wet for him.
Yeah, he didn't sound here. He'll be, of course, on the Pramac Ducati bike alongside Ben Spies. He's testing the bike on Tuesday. Spies, of course, not here through injury. Unfortunately, won't get to try it. Espargaro's now through on Bradley Smith, and there's a few riders here. He can...
I'm still looking at the times because I'm trying to keep an eye on Marc Marquez.
Well, he's just set a new fastest lap. Yeah. He was a second and a half quicker than Tyrrell on the previous lap. This is Elena Russell. Ooh, nasty collision. Ow. Landing on her back in that collision with Eric Granado. They were battling for down the order. Good news that he went out there. Just a shame he's obviously had some kind of issue.
This is the battle for the helicopter shot. Nico Tyrrell. It's the battle for second place of Marc Marquez. Now down to the trackside camera. Marquez really has got Tyrrell. Get past Nico Tyrrell, isn't it? That is going to be very important. Yeah, it's down to half a second now. Yeah, he is going to get past him.
Yeah, they know it. Here he comes. Ooh. Right on them. He's not going to. It's 5.5 seconds. He was a whole second quicker than Simon on that previous lap, and there are 7.5 laps to go. It's possible.
It is possible, and you've got to say, he's in the Marquez bubble now. He's absolutely in his own zone, and it certainly wouldn't be surprised me if he did go on to win the race.
He likes it coming through there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's where he went through on Ria, and look at the mark. Even, you know, about 5 laps ago, he was battling for 4th place, and now he's...
And he wasn't even having it his own way for a long time with Gino Rea and Dominica Goethe, but his mindset has changed. He suddenly realised, right, I wonder what just Marquez, exclamation mark.
Yeah, don't tell him it's Marquez. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Even on this lap, now he's got past Nico Tyrrell. He's closing the gap all the time.
And he can see him. He's like a rabbit in the distance, isn't he? Or...
No, they're going to change them, aren't they? No, they're going to be there.
Brilliant.
They're going to push him on now.
And just to show what he's done, now he's battling with a Goethe. He's put, I think, 7 seconds between himself and a Goethe, and that was very, very recent. To the crowd, they are loving it. They've got a Spanish 1, 2, 3 here. But more than anything, they've got 3 world champions, 3, 1, 2, 5 world champions in the top spot.
The last 3 years,
the
that's
Moto2 world champion is now chasing down.
Not easy for Julian Simon. He's been told that his lead is whittling down. I don't know if he knows it's Marc Marquez or not. I would think he's a pretty bright bloke, Julian Simon. He'd realise it probably is Marc Marquez, because he's Paul Espargaro.
Yeah, he's come through that group with Bradley Smith. He's dropped back as this race has gone on. He had a little bit of a clash earlier on in the race, didn't he? With Paul Espargaro. In fact, when Espargaro...
That's why he accepted the Marquez thing, wasn't it?
At the front, OK, 3 seconds now the gap. Marquez just done a 1:46.4. Simon did a 1:47.7. Marquez is more than a second quicker than anyone else.
A very, very tough final weekend in the Moto2 class for him. Bitterly, bitterly disappointed, but he can now concentrate his efforts on Tuesday. As can Andrea Iannone, who will ride the Ducati. We now ride with Marc Marquez, 4.5 laps to go.
It's up there, but maybe it is. Maybe he's just on it now, proper on the adrenaline. And look, he's sliding. It's like he's riding in the dry here. He's just pushing so hard, knee right down. Not feeling his way through, is he? He's thrown.
Former 125cc world champion. Starts his MotoGP career on Tuesday. I'm sure all the MotoGP riders are watching this and thinking, hey up, this boy's going to be something very special indeed. And
Marquez was 9/10ths quicker. Like slight little bits of dry lines you can see just as they come through into turn 2, and another one through turn 3, all in the corner areas, of course. And
that's how Julian Simon can react, to be honest, and if he can hold him up for a little while.
he is the real deal, Marc Marquez. We know that. Back of the grid, yeah, we know he can get a little bit hot-headed, a little bit aggressive sometimes. Some people will say, why not? Just use your head a little bit more. Well, he's just using every ounce of the talent he has in this race to plough his way through the field. He started at the back. 33 out of the 33 riders on.
Go, let's have a look. Oh, it's only just over 1 second. Probably when they get to turn 1, it's under 1 second for Marc Marquez.
Julian Simon's hope has to be he's ruined his tyres by doing this. That's just the only thing he can hope for. And Simon,
an amazing performance by the Moto2 world champion. I cannot wait to see him in MotoGP next year. Extraordinary performance.
just having a look down through the order. This is the battle for the through into 9, and surely it's going to be the flick right. He just carries so much pace through.
Here we go. No,
not this time.
I think that was the last lap. He might have gone through them, but yeah. He's probably got the pace off a turn.
But now surely Marc Marquez, as he comes past, eases past Simon, and he takes the lead in the Valencian Grand Prix, the final round of the 2012 championship in Moto2.
Well done, Simon, trying to hang in there.
He is matching him at the moment, just trying to stick as long as possible, and maybe, just maybe, don't forget, Simon is a battler too. He is a world champion. It's a Suter once, well, it's actually a Suter down the straight as Marquez looks behind. He thinks, surely I've left him behind. No, you haven't. A lap to go in the Valencian Grand Prix. It's a Spanish 1-2-3. Marquez from Simon, though, is the battle for victory.
Through turn 1 they go. From Julian Simon now. Surely he's going to win this race if he doesn't make a mistake. From the very last position on the grid. Here at Valencia. Difficult to overtake. Horrible conditions. Wet, damp and cold. Doesn't make the slightest bit of difference.
Goes through the fans corner, it's dubbed here, and through into turn 8 now. Santi Hernandez on the left will go up with him into MotoGP, and you just saw alongside him Emilio Alvamora, all looking just a little bit nervous, but
pre-victory of the season beckons. Up into turn 13, over the rise into 14. The checkered flag is being prepared.
His 9th race of the season, but he started from the back of the grid. What a ride by the world champion. Julian Simon takes 2nd place. The team are delighted, all stood on pit. Cocherol is going to take 3rd place, his first podium in Moto2. And it's Tom Luthi in 4th, Dominica Goethe in 5th, dropping back just at the end there. Wow.
Wow, that is one of the performances.
We were teasing him a little bit about that on the flight back. Brilliant stuff from Marquez. What a performance.
Are you any doubt about how he's going to perform in MotoGP? Watch the replay of this race.
Gone off like a rocket today, hasn't he himself, Marc Marquez? Just absolutely perfect. Can't quite see him through the smoke from the fireworks that have been let off. Told you there'd be fireworks for your birthday, Ian.
Yeah, they are, Ian. Happy.
Fantastic.
He is surely a future MotoGP world champion. He's a 1-2-5 and Moto2 world champion. And he takes to the big stage.
It looks so good. Brilliant. Yeah, look at that. That's great. Really enjoying himself up there. That's it. That's his time done in the lower classes. He's with the big boys now.
What a way to stress him. He's such a one of the nicest lads you meet off the track. That you, he's a cracking lad. Of course, he's got confidence. You don't ride a motorcycle like that. You don't perform at that level in any championship. Well done, Paul.
It's right up there.
That was a great ride by Paul Espargaro, into 8th place in the race, runner-up in the World Championship. But here is the world champion. He's signed off his career in Moto2 with, well, almost the right.
Did it then. He started from the back of the grid, having just repaired his bike, came back and did it there. But, you know, just a very, very special talent.